Hello everyone, my name is Corey and I am the Lone Lawman. This is episode 2. In this second episode, I will be performing a basic lawn service for a customer that's been with me since day one. I call them my legacy customers. So let's mow and talk about it. This property has been with me since day one. One of 58 legacy customers, as I like to call them. Oh, I got my great. Keep garbage grabbers on your mowers, man. Pick shit up. Don't mow it. Turn one piece of paper into 1,000. I can't tell you how many times I've seen dudes talking online in lawn guy groups saying that that's what they do. That shit drives me nuts. When you're gonna go through all that effort to service a lawn and leave friggin' garbage all over the place? That's ridiculous. This is mostly St. Augustine grass here. There's an island in the middle. Try not to discharge into it, of course. My mower's 42 inches wide. And there are a couple of areas here that are not even 2 mower widths wide. So I'm usually spitting towards the walkways or towards the property line, away from that island. Just got red bark mulch in there, some sago palm, some shampoo ginger, loriothy, the big camphor tree there, and a couple of oaks. But the camphor, well, the oak does it too, shoots up all the little sucker trees from the root system underneath, and they can get pretty woody. If I don't see her for a while in the off season, and it can be a bitch to do anything about with the line trimmer. Going into the backyard here, this backyard is just garbage. It was probably Bahia at one time, but it's like 90% weeds. There's a really tall patch that you probably saw when I entered the backyard. That's a drain field, so whatever's over there grows really well, really tall, and it doesn't take long. She's on a bi-weekly schedule during the growing season, like May through October. The front yard, I would love that St. Augustine patch to get cut every week because it's thick, but the rest of it's a breeze every 2 weeks. So it's just that patch right there over the drain field. So whatever, you know, I'm not going to force weekly service on anybody, especially since the rest of it's so damn easy. The St. Augustine, I'll cut at 4.5 during the growing season, on 4 in the winter. The Bahia, for years, lowest I would go is 3, and that would be for the stuff that wasn't super healthy and thick. 3.5 for the really healthy Bahia yards. But this past year, I started dropping my deck to 2.5 on some of these Bahia yards, and it looks so much better. And I don't know if I'm imagining it, but the lawns look healthier. So I stuck with it. So this one I'm probably mowing at 2.5, or at least I should be. And the way I deal with those tall drain field areas, it happens in a ton of yards. I try to discharge, do a pass down the center in one direction, down the center in another direction, so I'm blowing all my debris off of that patch. And then I'll repeat that process until that tall patch is done. So I'm going to have a debris field on 2 sides. And what's left in the center, there's going to be a lot of stragglers that mower blades didn't get. So I'll usually make another 2nd or 3rd pass over there. And then I'm going to run over those debris patches another pass or 2. I mean, no big deal. I'm taking an extra 30 seconds out of my day. Just to break up that debris a little bit more. And if I've got any clumping going on, which here I usually do, when I've got my blower, Just hit the little clumps, kick them. Whatever works, man. You just don't want clumps sitting around because you're going to have yellow spots the next time you're there. Or dead grass. This customer's really cool. Got a couple of dogs, but there's never a loaf in the yard, which is great. Got a couple of customers who aren't pooper picker uppers. I hear some guys, lose their minds about it. It's annoying for sure. It smells terrible. It's gross in the treads of your sneakers and the tires on the mower and stuff. But I don't know, man. I just deal with it. I bring it up in casual conversation if I can. Try to do it in like a joking way. Like, oh man, a lot of poop in the backyard this week, huh? Some take a hint, some don't. Whatever. I got 3 dogs. I get it. It's a business. Some people go around to people's yards like we do, mowing grass, and they go and pick up dukes. Someone once suggested to me, why don't you charge a fee for that? And I'm like, yeah. I don't want to pick up crap for a living. This is actually not anymore. Used to be. Up until last year sometime, was my furthest west account. Which really isn't saying much. I mean, you got to just drive east a couple miles and I've got a cluster of probably a dozen more lawns or whatever. But route density is really important in this business, man. You got to keep your accounts as close as possible. If you're having to drive too far, you're wasting both time and money. And cutting grass, it's not the most lucrative thing in the world, but if you're smart with your money and you're charging fair prices, you can do all right, man. Money's not something I'm going to talk about on this channel very often, at least as far as specifics. Like if you were to comment, how much do you get paid for this lawn, and then your fucking business? How much do you make a year, and then your business? That's just how I operate. I see a lot of guys throwing their numbers out. I think 99% of them are bullshit. But there are so many factors involved as far as what market you're in, your overhead, what you want to make is a factor too. Some guy who he's retired and his house is paid off and he just wants to get out there and make a few bucks, he's probably going to charge a little bit less than the guy who's rolling around on a $10,000 zero turn in an $80,000 truck, pulling a giant 18-foot dual axle enclosed trailer. So there's a lot of factors involved. I will tell you this: I'm not expensive, but I'm not the neighborhood meth guy either. I'm at least a step above that, maybe 2 or 3 or 10. I don't know. But what I like about this line of work has really nothing to do with money. It's being outside. It's answering to no one. I mean, I've heard people say that when you're self-employed, you trade one boss for a bunch of bosses, meaning your customers. But if you do good work, they don't treat you like they're a boss. And any ones that try to do, bossy power bullshit with me, see ya. I'm not interested. I've got a great group of people, man. Once a year, someone who I pick up disappoints me, whether it be non-payment or just a personal interaction that left a bad taste in my mouth or whatever. But for the most part, my customers are good. I think people are good. One of the pieces of advice, I don't know if you call it advice, but one of the things that my father said to me when I bought the business was two words: simply just pay attention. And I replay those two words in my head a lot, because you can kind of feel yourself drifting off sometimes, not focusing enough on the actual work itself, or putting off billing, or equipment maintenance is a big one with me. I'll wait till something gets really bad sometimes and be like, I got to deal with this now, rather than doing something preventative and never having to have a major weekend project to work on. These fences are a pain, man, because there's like one picket on one side, one picket on the other, one picket on one side, one picket on the other. And to try to get everything with a line trimmer is damn near impossible, unless at a walking pace. You just can't do it. And I'm not about to individually go into every little gap. So that's usually a candidate for some spray, just to keep it clean. That's one thing that this customer likes, is a clean fence line, front and back. You see, I edge with a trimmer most of the time. This yard I probably should have used the edger, because it does look a little dirty. And I just think it's faster. I like the way it looks better. Saves me a trip to the truck. We don't really have a fall here in Florida, Central Florida. You probably don't know how, whatever. Like, I'm from Rhode Island, and leaf cleanups were a big part of the fall. But here we have these oak trees that really start dumping January and February. I don't really do leaf cleanups. What I do is, while I'm there mowing, I'll put it in an extra 10-15 minutes to clean up any ridiculous amounts of leaves, mulch them up. I'll discharge them into a tree line if I can. It's rare that I actually throw leaves in bags. It's just not an issue here, which is wonderful. I don't really do too much outside of lawn maintenance. Do some bed installations, some really low tree work, some plantings, and dig up some old stuff, but it's mostly this kind of stuff, man. Just simple lawn maintenance. And I like it that way. It's manageable for one person. Things slow down a lot in the wintertime, which could be a time where I could hustle landscaping work, but I don't, man. I work my ass off half the year, and then I enjoy myself for half the year. Save my money, and I make it through the winters no problem. I don't have time to spend money in the summer, man. It's wake up, mow, go back to bed. Especially June through September. October's, May, sometimes April, depending on the year, is when I start ramping up. And October is the typical transition month on the back end of that. We're ramping down. But November through February, I'd be shocked if I worked more than 20 hours a week. The rest of the time I'm catching up on projects around the house that got neglected for 6 months. Doing a lot of fishing. Don't forget to blow the windowsills. Concrete could use a pressure wash. That's something I've been thinking about doing in the off season, is the occasional pressure washing driveways and sidewalks and such. But I don't know, man. Well, that's that.
Thank you for watching episode 2 of The Lone Lawnman. Please like and share the videos, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, and leave me some comments. I will read everything. My hope is to create higher quality, more informative videos moving forward. So please stay tuned for episode 3. Take care, everybody.